Good evening and a warm welcome to all the lovely audience who have tuned in to watch us live today. I'm Sharmishta Parmar, the Community Engagement Lead from StoryCircle Edusaarthi, and I welcome you all on the second episode of UTSAV Celebrating Edusaarthis. Today we have with us our Edusaarthi from Batch 1 who have successfully completed our certification program of storytelling and creative method. And they are all spreading joy and happiness with stories. So let me welcome them all. So I welcome my co-host, Ms. Shoberi Chakravarti, first of all. Good evening, Shoberi. How are you?
Hello everyone, good evening. I'm so happy to see all of you once again. It has been such a long time and yet now we are again on one frame. So we're going to have an exciting evening, I guess.
Yes. I welcome Sonia ji. Welcome to Edusaarthi platform once again.
Thank you, Sharmishta
Very
ji.
good evening.
Thank
Very
you
good
so
evening
much.
to Madhu, Riya and Kavita. Unfortunately, Asha ji couldn't make up this show because she had some health issues. So we are all here once again on this platform and we are so happy to see you all once again.
Before we go ahead, Sharmishta, I'm going to get a quick introduction from them as well.
Yes, Sonia ma'am.
Hi, good evening all. I'm Sonia Rajesh, a spoken English trainer and a motivational speaker. I run a small platform, online platform called Say Yes to English, which deals with several courses, online courses, and my courses cater to students from right from the age of 5 years till 60. And above. Storytelling has really been my passion too. So that's all about me.
And Sonia ma'am, I would really like you to add where you come from.
I'm from God's own country, Kerala. My native town is Calicut, known as Kozhikode.
Lovely.
That's the most interesting part.
Shoberi, today you should just have a look to her sari. What a beautiful sari she's wearing.
My sari too has a story to tell. It is full of murals painted by one of my friends from Kerala.
Wow.
See, stories never leave us, we storytellers, stories never leave us. It's everywhere.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Over to you, Madhu.
Good evening, all. I had a great fun in the Edusaarthi group. Though due to few circumstances, I was not able to continue it as my profession or as a trainer. But सब कुछ सीखने वाली चीजें थी. आज भी मैं भी हर जगह स्टोरी ढूंढती हूँ या बच्चों को पढ़ाने में इट्स क्वाइट हेल्पफुल कि हम कैसे प्रेजेंट करें कि उन्हें बहुत अच्छे से समझ आ जाए. बहुत हेल्पिंग है, बहुत अच्छा है, बट कुछ ऐसे सर्कमस्टांसेस है कि मैं अभी तक स्टार्ट नहीं कर पाई अपना स्टोरी टेलिंग का. और आगे सीखा है तो बहुत एवेन्यूज हैं करने के लिए, अभी करेंगे.
Wonderful, Madhu, and our best wishes. You will always go through our stories and you will always flourish ahead. No issues right now, you're not doing anything, but our best wishes are there with you. Yes, over to you, Riya.
Hello ma'am, hello everyone, good evening. I'm Riya, I'm from Gandhinagar, Gujarat. I'm post doing course in Edusaarthi. I conduct my own storytelling classes, online storytelling classes. I have my own institute called Dhimahi in Gandhinagar itself, and now we'll be starting physical classes. So, and I think Edusaarthi has been really helpful, especially Walter Peters' session to the learning brain gym and all that new concepts that we learned. So I think I'm very grateful to Edusaarthi. Then, thank you so much.
Equally our pleasure, Ria. Over to you, Kavita.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. It is so good to see you all on the screen again. And going with my introduction, my name is Kavita, and I was one of the batch mate of Edusaarthi first batch, which holds a very special place for me actually, because that's how I started my storytelling session, program. I do have my venture, which is named under, Thoughts and Tales by Kavita, which actually I launched before the Edusaarthi. And then there was a quick call, from where I took Yogita ma'am's guidance, and I gave a quick call to her that, okay, ma'am, and I'm coming, I'm going ahead with this program. And so thank you so much. I was able to get through this, and it's been wonderful journey. So I'm a mom of two, an eye care professional, and now storytelling as a profession as well.
Wow. Really great. So my question to you all is, how did you all connect with Edusaarthi and what made you take up this course? Sonia ma'am, will begin with you.
I had got connected with Yogita ji through a common platform called CIMSME, where many people, many trainers and educators and people who wanted to change the community were together, called CIMSME. And then she had put the word through, like there is a storytelling she's soon going to start. So right from my childhood, I have been hearing stories from my what can you call, Parnani, my Nani's mom. So I had the luck to hear the stories from her. I was brought up by my grandparents, since both my parents were doctors. They were in another city. So I still remember all those mythological stories which they used to, both my Parnani as well as my Nani used to tell me. And when I'm a mom of two and mother of two, and I continued the journey. Like I used to tell stories to both my son and daughter. And so suddenly I thought, I felt that I should connect and do complete the course. And somewhere I felt that I have the storyteller in me, and that rest is history. And I really enjoyed the journey thoroughly, because many I came across, in fact, since it was a pilot batch, I felt it was a really special thing. And we learned so many new things, like how to make a puppet and how to include theatre in our story, through several great people, great trainers who came to train us. That was really a wonderful journey, bonding with each one of my batchmates, since all of us were from different parts of India.
Wonderful. Like you said, I guess everyone inside, we all are a storyteller. The only thing is we need to bring that out and start the journey with the stories. Lovely listening to you, Sonia ma'am. Over to you, Kavita. How did you...
Okay, so frankly, I wasn't a storyteller, and it's just that I'm a mom of two. So when the motherhood comes, into action, it's just that when I started, normally I used to teach my kids, especially my daughter. She's 6.5 years, and now my son who's 2.5 years. So that's how I, started learning, because I used to read books to her. And where I knew that during my schooling days, there was nobody who told me the stories. It's not that mom had that much time to just sit around and, tell stories. That was the only school stories which we used to listen. So somehow when I realized, reading stories, reading books, anyways, it'll be the best thing what you do as a, when you get kids grown up as a reader. So I started reading to her, and that's how I started understanding, that importance of reading, importance of books and storytelling, and through a storytelling way. So I made it little simpler for her in my own way of telling her the complete story or reading a book.
that's how I realized, like, I was good in narrating stories where she used to making different voices, and I connected through to Edusaarthi is like, because that's how my daughter, when she was very fond of stories, so she wanted a birthday party related to story. So I had planned up a complete birthday party as a storytelling event where I got to connect with StoryCircle, and that's how I knew that okay, and because benefits of pandemic is I could do this particular program of Edusaarthi online without disturbing my kids' schedule and my own schedule. So it was amazing, and that's how I, got connected with the Edusaarthi program. And I'm lucky that I could do it for it.
So we can see someone behind who is your who initiated
Yeah,
this,
so
you into this
she's
course.
That is the initiator.
yeah, she's the inspiration behind starting the storytelling, and that's how. And now I'm really glad that I'm doing wonderful through storytelling for kids actually. So we cover the age group of 5 to 8 years, and lot many story programs which are ongoing now.
Lovely. Very
So I would like to thank Jantika, my daughter, for being my inspiration.
Flesh.
Yeah.
Ria, how did you get into this course?
Ma'am, actually, I joined since 2018. I was interested in storytelling, so I've done various courses. So I joined few groups on Facebook. So I saw some advertisement about Yogita ma'am, like previous. It was during the time of pandemic, so she used to there used to be programs coming, so I could not join them. So I think my mother was also in contact with Yogita ma'am through her friend. She knew Yogita madam. So I think Yogita ma'am suggested it to my mother, and then I came to know about this course, and I really liked it, so I just joined it. I like the way that the handhold is there, and I mean that it's in detail, so that's why I joined this course.
Lovely. Over to you, Madhu. How did you get into this course?
I get into this course through a friend of mine. I can say more than a friend. She is the elder sister to me, Nidhi Bhari, Riya's mom. She was here in Jodhpur, and when we spent time together, she saw my craft skills and connecting dot skills regarding anything in life. So, in that time, I was going through some difficult phase of life. She told me that Madhu, you join this course. We'll see कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना, but you should learn this. You are just supposed to learn. There is no investment, nothing. You can start it from your home, and it will be very helpful to your career. So, like this, I came into this Edusaarthi, and it was a wonderful experience. And I am thankful to first Nidhi Didi. She suggested me, and then Yogita ma'am. She taught us so many things. That's all.
Lovely. So somehow we all got connected to each other, and we are right now on this Edusaarthi platform sharing our stories. Yes, over to you, Shobheri.
Yes. So, right, after hearing all of them, I feel like we always say we make the best out of the waste. But here I would say the pandemic, when it was somewhere putting our morals down and all those news, upsetting news, in between that, amidst that, getting in touch with something and, creating something out of that, which is good for self and as well as the children, is something that our Edusaarthis are kind of representing over here, which is exciting me more. And now I would really like to learn from all of you that after the course, how it helped you. Like it can be anyway, maybe in your career, maybe with your personal experiences with your own children, or maybe just as a tool with what you were already doing. So I'd really like to know, learn, and understand from you how it helped you, how the course helped you, what you did after course.
Yes, Sonia ma'am.
For me, since I have been a spoken English and language trainer, the courses which Yogita ji designed especially for the STAR course as well as the CEL course, that was really helpful. And I continued my journey using the CEL one. And the best thing is that I first collaborated with yet another batchmate of ours, Yashoda, and we ran about a 1 month program, 1 to 2 months program for I think 4 years, 4 to 8 year olds. Then somehow she too got busy and we couldn't continue the journey. Yet again, then another, just before 3 months, I collaborated with yet another friend of ours, Chainika Goswami, and we continued the self courses for 2 months. So that's how I use both the self course along with two of my batchmates and to teach children. Like one day it was about English, and yet another day was the self one, the storytelling one. So that is how I use the tool, and I really found it very effective because children were very much engaged and they really loved the sessions.
Interesting. So what I learned from Sonia ma'am is that we have not only built a storytelling curriculum or a storytelling as a tool, but also somewhere engaged with the community, brought the society together. And that swells my heart when I see that all of them has come together. Though physically we are still strained, but we are still connected. And with this, I'd like to go ahead with Kavita ma'am now.
So, after completing the course, first of all, it was amazing to have that certification, which added on to my profile. Of like staying as StoryCircle's Edusaarthi participant. And that was wonderful, and I just loved that, which added on to my profile. So now I could, mention it as a certified storyteller. So that was one thing. Another was there are many stories which we tell to kids, So I decided as doing all the sessions, planning a different type of story kits based on the stories or the sessions which I do. So that helped me with the creative tools teaching which we did in the program, making the puppets and making the art and crafts. So all those things I started combining, with the different. So theme-based activities were planned according to the stories which the program, the session was about to conduct. So these creative teaching tools, the narration techniques, and sort of those voice, kids really love this change of voice. All of a sudden when you narrate the story, and then you squeaking loud like a mouse, and then you all of a sudden you roar like a tiger. So they feel like, that excitement level you can actually see on their faces, like so that additional tool which helped me out, though it's slowly it is adding on to my skills of storytelling. So that's how it is helping me out in many other different ways, like, sort of, I can list it down in that. So it has been an amazing, well curated program, as in for the storytellers, who are looking forward for the storytelling as a complete profession or a career, or in an educational tool, sort of, in every sort of way.
Right. So from community building, we also got skill enhancement. And now I think it's adding to our list as well. Okay, moving ahead, let's go to Reha ma'am.
So I think the theater done by Walter Peters, the brain gym done by Geeta Madam, and the lesson plan making did help in storytelling. Like before starting my own storytelling classes, I did intern in a few schools, so they like my lesson plans and the way I understand the psychology of the children. So Edusaarthi did help me in this, like understanding the psychology of the children and of course making lesson plans.
Interesting. So now we got one more in the list. That's attachment. Getting close with our children, understanding them thoroughly, and providing them what they definitely needs. Interesting. Madhu ma'am, we would like your input, please.
Though I did not continue the classes or any interaction with the kids, my kids are grown up. My son is in class 11th and daughter is in class. But still, this brain gym was very helpful. It developed a different kind of patience level in me, and I can say learning never goes waste. It gave you something. It has given me a lot. Let's wait for the time when it will come. I will utilize it.
Interesting. It helped you at least personally, and somewhere you have it in you and you're appreciating it, and somewhere you're using it for yourself, and that is no less from any other things that we are talking over here. Excellent. So some or the other way it touched upon wide and far. And now let us go to our next question. I would definitely like to ask you all that how do you see this storytelling? ये जो storytelling है इसको हम फ्यूचर में कैसे देख सकते हैं? इसको और किस तरीके से एनहांस कर सकते हैं? हम कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं? या हम स्टोरी टेलिंग के फ्यूचर देख पा रहे हैं? तो हम शुरू करते हैं इस बार मधु मैम से. आपको क्या लगता है स्टोरी टेलिंग का आपको कैसे फ्यूचर दिखता है आगे? क्या लगता है आपको इसके साथ और क्या क्या किया जा सकता है?
बहुत ही अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट है आने वाले टाइम के लिए. और अभी टुडेज सिनेरियो आई कैन से हमें स्टोरी टेलिंग से बच्चों में जो चीजें छूट गई है ना, जो कैरेक्टर को लेके या बड़ों को रिस्पेक्ट को लेके, इस स्टोरी के साथ अगर हम बच्चों को ऐसा प्लान दें कि आज उन्हें ये रोल प्ले करना है अपनी रियल लाइफ में और उसका एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना है, तो आई थिंक वो ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ पाएंगे. जैसे जो बचपन हमने जिया वैसा बचपन नहीं हम उन्हें प्ले करने को दें, तो शायद वो ज्यादा एंजॉय कर पाएंगे. अभी सब फोन और सोशल मीडिया इसी से कनेक्टेड है. तो रीडिंग हैबिट बच्चों की चली गई है. हमें एक चार्म होता था रेलवे स्टेशन जाते हैं कि हम कॉमिक्स खरीदते थे, पढ़ते थे. अब तो कुछ भी नहीं है, बस फोन लो और बैठ जाओ. तो ये सब चीजें बच्चों में डेवलप करने के लिए स्टोरी टेलिंग को अगर कनेक्ट कर दिया जाए कि हमने आज तुम्हें ये स्टोरी सुनाई, तुम्हें कौन सा कैरेक्टर अच्छा लगा, उसको प्ले करके देखो अपनी रियल लाइफ में, तो आई थिंक कुछ अच्छा नया होगा.
बढ़िया. तो मधु मैम के हिसाब से अगर हमें इस तरह के मोरल्स इनपुट करने हैं हमारे बच्चों में, तो स्टोरी टेलिंग से बेहतर टूल और कुछ नहीं हो सकती, जिसे हम फिजिकली भी प्रैक्टिस अपने बच्चों के साथ कर सकते हैं. वेरी नाइस. नाउ रेहा मैम, वी वुड लाइक टू हैव योर इनपुट्स.
Ma'am, actually, I would like to work more on developing educational concepts through storytelling, GK through storytelling, general knowledge through storytelling, and of course critical thinking through storytelling, because nowadays we have observed that जैसे मधु जी ने already mention किया ही है, when because of technology people have stopped thinking critically. They just think whatever their peer group wants to do, so they don't know right, wrong, and like in stories, like mostly we see villain, we see hero or heroine, but it's not like that. Like even if the person who's known to be villain has some good qualities, might be some insecurities. So I think critical thinking is very important, and of course those educational concepts, and more I would like to work is healing through stories, with children also, but adults also, because especially with old age, because when you're old, you don't you actually feel very lonely. People don't want to talk to you. You're not as much wanted as you were once upon a time. So I would definitely like to work like I read this book of healing through storytelling by Susan Perro, so I would like to work more on that also, along with educational stories. and stories for, of course, for vocabulary and language development and concept building, all that. Apart from that,
That is yet again very interesting and very thoughtful. Doing something for the old age, and I normally don't hear people saying that, but that really again swells my heart. It feels so good listening to that. And
actually, one of my friends does yoga for old age. Like, she's based in Dubai, so we can always collaborate, and maybe I can do storytelling and she can do yoga, and then we can always collaborate and work
oh
on
wow!
that.
So we see an entire plan coming up right here on our platform, and that is very, very interesting. Excited, we are moving forward towards Kavita ma'am.
I would just like to add, because usually we have a thought that let's narrate stories to children or maybe the teenager, but the old age people are also require this story a lot, because they have nothing to do. They want people to sit beside them, spend time with them, share the stories, and really, it's a very good thought, Ria, from your part.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And somewhere while growing up, we forget, right, that we only feel that stories are only for bedtime. We entirely forget the thing that it is not a prescribed childhood medicine. It can go along across ages. And thanks to Reha ma'am to bring that forth, so that now people can understand and also start practicing the same. Yes, let's go to Kavita ma'am here.
So, see, every storyteller has its own qualities, the way they narrate the stories. So we all have something inbuilt in us, where when you do a storytelling session, you actually hone out your skills of storytelling in a very sort of a different way to if you're storytelling an organization, if you're storytelling a kid, if you're storytelling a firm or a corporate. So it makes lot of difference, and it definitely enhances our skills as well, because that's how we research, that's how we learn about it. Okay, we are approaching, age group of 4 to 8 years. We're dealing with kids. We are going through a storytelling for a particular age group of middle age group, So to make to make them learn about it, so especially those moral based values. So I just had an incident where a 6-year-old girl says that, Mama, I'm, she told me that I want a story on gardening because she loves gardening. Okay, so that's how she feels when, suppose, if you're not in that, you need that quiet time. So goes outside and starts gardening, think about the. So then it gave me because she wanted something specific to her, what she was interested into, I started hunting, that, okay, I have to give my best to that particular girl who's expecting something out from me. So I, planned a story session, which was based on Wangari Maathai, a Nobel laureate. She was the woman behind planting 45 million trees.
Or more than 45.
Yes. So it's nobody knows until unless that you read about that particular person about, in the book. And not everybody knows that, okay, there's a Nobel laureate who did so and so work. So that's how even the kids and grown-ups connect to the current situations or the current things which are going on, because not everybody is fond of reading newspapers. So storytelling somehow also you can always add on to the current issues, So she was a lady who was a Nobel laureate. She was from South Africa and she planted 45 million trees. And that's how now kids know, okay, this was the complete journey of her. And that's how the complete revolution started about the Green Belt movement. So they know the current things happening in the world, the current incidents going around all over the world. So not only the books or the stories which are, going through all this thing, but many other moral based values and concepts can be made clear to the grown-ups and the kids through storytelling. So definitely if you're into that career, but it's the thing that you have to do it very passionately, and if you're so passionate about storytelling, because you literally put your heart and soul into it, when you are working for someone, or you are planning a story for someone who really is looking forward for that session. So thanks to Edusaarthi, as I mentioned, Story Circle, and special thanks to Yogita ma'am, that this is adding, just as I said, it is adding on to my knowledge. It is adding on to formation of that events, and curating those story based events for me. So it's a really and a great well crafted program which was there, and really enjoyed doing it.
Interesting. So now we are even hobby building with storytelling, and somewhere storytelling, which is often denoted as fantasies, are helping children to learn realities. What can be more interesting than that? So with that good notion, let's move on to Sonia ma'am.
What I feel is I completely agree with Ria and Kavita. Like they said, healing. Recently, I too have been in the path, through the path of healing, learning, being a bit of healer, budding healer. So I do feel that stories can really heal people, and I find an opportunity for many of our seniors who have been really storytellers in their younger days. They could even make this uses as an opportunity, a job opportunity, when they are getting as Ria said, कि एक एज आने से वो lonely feel हो जाते हैं, तो they can even use this as a hobby, or even as a part-time income, if they can start. Like many of us can even help them to earn more. Or yet another thing, what I want to say is that in the future, since many of our younger generation are not don't बहुत वैल्यूज उनको सिखाना पड़ता है, तो ये स्टोरीज के थ्रू ये हो सकता है कि these through the storytelling we can even create a very everlasting impression on the minds of the younger generation. And again, since we are coming from different parts of India, or sometimes we may not know, the children may not know the story in Greece, or Greek mythological stories, or Japanese folklores, or anywhere across the world. Storytelling can be really used to teach them the cultures from across the seven seas. That's what I really feel. And thanks to Edusaarthi team and Yogita ji for bringing in this such a beautiful, wonderful curated program, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's how we come to an end of the show, and we could gather so much from all of you, innovative ideas, and how it helped you out. And I would thank you all to be here to give us this insight. It really helped us understand that how we could reach you, how Edusaarthi could reach you. Now I'll give it over to Sharmisha ma'am to say a few
I would
words.
like to express my gratitude to all the Edusaarthis for their presence over here and sharing their journey with us. It was such a delight to see you all once again on this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Please stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Stay connected, and always keep hoping that we will see these beautiful faces on and on with upcoming years as well. Let us have many more alumni meets in future, and learn more from you as well.
We would also like to learn more from you.
For sure. For sure.
So this has actually opened up our minds. So now it is the open doors, and we would like to take everything inside, whatever is provided.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
We're always there
Thank
for
you
you.
so much.
Always there for you.
Thank you. Thank you. So good. So good. Thank you so much.
So we